A 30-year-old man named Jeremy Youngblood died after undergoing a standard chiropractic procedure. An Oklahoma chiropractor performed what's called a neck manipulation on him, which is just a way that they crack your neck. And that led to a stroke. Supposedly a blood clot broke free, and he died from, quote, acute cerebellar, not cerebral, cerebellar, okay, infarction due to manipulation of his neck. And to make it worse, they didn't even call the hospital. So the chiropractor cracks this guy's neck in a weird way. He strokes out, and they're like, well, that's weird. Did he fall asleep or something? All right, call his dad. And that's what they did. So they didn't call the hospital. They called his father to pick him up. And, of course, this is finally leading to people asking questions about chiropractic medicine and just how much of actual medicine it is. Now, when I bring that up to you, what do you think? What's the first thing that pops in your mind? Back doctor, right? I mean, that's what most people think when you say, oh, I'm going to the chiropractor. Okay, oh, you're going to the back doctor. In fact, insurance in many cases covers this, health insurance. So, like, yeah, you can go to the chiropractor, we cover it. Well, let me educate you on chiropractic medicine, and then you can determine whether or not you think it's legitimate or not. It's based on the idea of what's called chiropractic subluxation, or another term for it is vertical subluxation. Now, that sounds like a super serious medical term, right? And it actually is. In certain contexts, the term subluxation, when a real doctor uses it, it does mean something real. But as it's used in chiropractic medicine, it's beyond ridiculous. In fact, here's what it is. In 1909, chiropractor B.J. Palmer laid this out. He wrote, quote, chiropractors have found in every disease that is supposed to be contagious a cause in the spine. In the spinal column, we will find a subluxation that corresponds to every type of disease. If we had 100 cases of smallpox, I can prove to you where in one you will find a subluxation and you will find the same conditions in the other 99. I adjust one and return his functions to normal. There is no contagious disease. There is no infection. There is a cause internal to man that makes of his body in a certain spot, more or less, a breeding ground for microbes. It is a place where they can multiply, propagate, and then because they become so many, they are classified as a cause or classed as a cause. So, in other words, let me break that down for you in layman's terms, what he's saying there. He's saying that in chiropractic medicine, I use that term loosely, every single disease is because your spine is not straight. I kid you not. So if you go to a chiropractor, go to your local chiropractor one. Actually, don't. I don't want you to die. But what they'll do is, so they'll go through a couple moves. They'll crack your back in multiple different ways. You'll think it feels good. And then they'll do an x-ray, and they'll bring in an x-ray. And you know what it'll show? A spine that's like, not straight. It's all screwed up. It'll look like it's, some sort of a squiggly line of a spine, and you're going to look at it and go, oh my goodness, that's not healthy. Now, what are they not telling you? That's not a picture of your spine. They use the same fucking picture for everybody, okay? And look, again, don't take my word for it. I have a close friend of mine who went to a chiropractor. They showed him the picture. He was skeptical. He's a smart guy. He was like, he played along with it when he was there, but then when he went home, he's like, no, that wasn't my spine. I know that's not my spine. That's ridiculous. That thing was squiggly all over the place, okay? So that's what they do. They make you think something's wrong with you in terms of your health, and they say, well, just come back and we'll get that spine straight. We got to crack it until it's straight, and then it'll fix all of your feelings of aches and pains, so on and so forth. But true chiropractic medicine, the whole idea of it is all problems, all diseases, including things like infectious diseases, they go, no, that's because your spine isn't straight. I'm not kidding. This is what they really believe. And this stuff is covered. Again, it's covered under health insurance in many cases. So it is 100% a bullshit metaphysical nonsense ideology, right up there with crystal healings and homeopathy and snake oil salesmen. It's total bullshit. And finally, let me finish on this story that not many people know this, and I don't think I've spoken about this on air yet. But one of the reasons my father died young is because of a chiropractor. Okay, you're probably thinking, whoa, what the fuck? Are you serious? So my father, he smoked heavily his whole life. He died at the age of 56, okay, from lung cancer. And the cancer metastasized all over the place. Now, he's one of those guys who has this belief system that I totally disagree with. I always have. The idea that you never go to a doctor. Okay, you don't trust doctors, you never go to doctors, yada, yada. Well, that was problem number one. Problem number two is when he started having some back pain, he didn't go to a doctor. He knew a chiropractor from the place where he would golf all the time. So he would go to that chiropractor's office, and he did the old routine, showed him the picture of the spine, which was the bent all over the place. My dad was like, oh, goodness, there's my problem right there. That's why I have back pain. And so he would keep going to the doctor, and the chiropractor would crack his back. And he said, every time I leave, I feel better. Now, look, it is true. They're basically glorified massage therapists. You're going to feel better if you crack your back and they crack your neck and everything in many cases. It'll feel better, so you think you're actually doing something productive. But again, there's no actual medicinal use to it. You're not actually curing anything. You're not healing anything. So you know what ended up happening? You know why my father was having back pain? His cancer had metastasized to his spine. So the entire time he's going to this chiropractor, and the chiropractor didn't have the sense to tell my dad, or maybe he didn't because he wanted to continue to make money off my dad. He didn't tell him, hey, go to the hospital, man. You're still having back pain? Like, go to the hospital. You know, something might be wrong here. This might be serious. No, he kept taking his money, kept cracking his back, and he would say to him, don't worry, next week we'll crack it and the pain will be gone. And then the week after that, don't worry, we'll crack it, the pain will be gone. And then by the time my dad actually went to the emergency room, it was too late. He was dead not even a month later because he was in the late stages of cancer, and it was done. It was too late. They couldn't do anything. They operated on him at the last minute, but right when he got out of the operating room, he was still destroyed by the cancer. He went to chemo a handful of times, then he passed away. So, look, this isn't just an intellectual thing, which it is, because I look at the information, I look at the data, and I come to the proper conclusion that chiropractors are bullshit, but it's also personal, because there's 1,000 other guys out there that are going to be just like my dad in this situation, and they're going to think a chiropractor is a real doctor. They're going to think that they're actually diagnosing them with something serious and helping them by cracking their back, being a glorified massage therapist, and then who knows, other people are going to die too. You know, hey, they have this pain, that's cancer. They have this pain, it's another health problem, but they don't get actual help. The problem gets worse, and then they pass away because the chiropractor, who's not a real doctor, didn't say, go to a real doctor and get some help. All we're asking for, all this needs, is an FDA warning that says this is not approved medicine. There's no evidence this actually helps any serious medical problems. You need to have stuff like that. You can't sell a pharmaceutical drug on TV without them telling you all the side effects and telling you what it really does. Should be the same thing for other alternative types of medicine, which it's not really medicine. They're lying to you. It's snake oil sales, okay? At least they should put some sort of a warning to let people know, because if they don't, this kind of stuff is going to continue to happen. Whether it's this poor guy dying because the guy cracked his neck in the wrong way, or it's somebody like my father who wasn't smart enough to know that he's being screwed over, and then he passes away because he delays his time to go to a real doctor.